Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dina Farisha and today our group will be presenting on our lab visit to Makmal Veterina Zone Timur, Pahang. So these are our group members. Next, before sharing the details about our visit, let's start by knowing the history of the lab. Makmal Veterina Zone Timur Pahang was built in 1978 and before this it was known as Makmal Veterina Kawasan Kuantan. In 2012, it received accreditation from JSM and eventually changed their name in 2020 to Makmal Veterina Zone Timur, which is its current name. Affiliated with the Malaysian Department of Veterinary Services, this lab collaborates with animal owners and local veterinarians to provide comprehensive diagnostic and testing services. Their mission extends beyond routine procedures, encompassing disease diagnosis, drug and food safety testing, research and development, and animal welfare monitoring. Equipped with advanced technologies and techniques such as PCR assays, the lab delivers accurate and timely results on animal samples. These advanced capabilities allow for swift responses and containment services during the infectious disease emergencies and outbreaks, safeguarding both animal and public health. Moving on to our visit on 2nd May of 2023, we are the third year of biomedical science students from IIUM Kuantan. We went for a study visit to the Makmal Veterina Zone Timur as part of our course requirements for advances in biomedical technology subject. During the visit, we had the opportunity to witness the professionalism and expertise of the laboratory's highly trained and experienced veterinary professionals. We observed firsthand the application of advanced technologies and techniques, further enriching our understanding for this subject. These are some of the students' pictures during the visit. Thank you. I will pass to the next presenter.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Amiruddinish bin Obakar. So I will continue the presentation by explaining about the function of laboratory. The Veterinary Services Department of Pahang in its establishment has set a vision, mission and operational objectives as a benchmark for work culture and service capabilities in meeting customer requests. For the vision, they aim to become a competent veterinary authority which serving the animal industry for human welfare. For the mission, they aim to provide quality veterinary services to ensure the interests of public health and a sustainable animal industry for human well-being. They highlighted 5 objectives. The first one is ensuring public health through the control of zoonotic diseases and the production of clean and safe animal-based food. The second one, empowering and maintaining animal health status that is believed to be conducive to the animal industry. The third one, promoting sustainable livestock production and value-added industries. The fourth one, exploring and developing the optimal use of technology and resources in the animal-based industry. And the last one, promoting animal welfare practices in all aspects of husbandry and production system. The following are several subunits department along with their specific functions. They got 7 departments. The first one is livestock trade and legislation, which they in charge in animal import and export control. The second one, veterinary public health, which they monitor zoonotic diseases, residues, and contamination in animal products. The third one, epidemiology and clinics, which they're responsible to coordinate disease control and prevention programs. The fourth one, slaughterhouse. They are responsible to manage all things that are related to slaughterhouse. The fifth one, grouping health, which they're responsible to detect and eradicate of specific diseases. Followed by the enforcement department, which they receive complaints, investigate and prosecute the complaint and take further action. And lastly is a quarantine department, which they are responsible for the livestock inspection and verification and quarantine management. The following are the list of tests carried out by Makmal Veterina Zone Timur and VZT Pahang. They conduct several tests for examples like biochemical tests, physical, pathology, histology, hematology, parasitology, in which in their lab they conduct trichomonas fetus detection and identification. Next is serology test, which the popular method used is ELISA, and also they also conduct viral isolation for Newcastle disease isolation and also avian influenza isolation, which both are the tests under a scope of ISO 17025. And also they conduct antibody titer, fungus isolation, microbiology, and also PCR. The PCR used for African swine fever, COVID-19, and also avian influenza. For bacteria isolation, they used to detect, they also aim to detect salmonellosis and strangles, and also isolation and identification of Campylobacter fetus subspecies venerialis. And the last test, they also conduct antimicrobial resistant tests, is either by using this diffusion method or sensitizer method. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now I'll be explaining on challenges and achievements faced by the veterinary department. So first, as for the challenges, they have financial disadvantage, which means they are lack of budget given by the authorities. Hence, this leads to unable to restore or replace any broken machine, and also the usage of old building because at the building it is not designed for laboratory settings. Hence, the layout is not suitable for laboratory in the first place. And during our visit, it was explained that the laboratory layout in the Kuantan branch is not suitable or is not a good example of the actual laboratory layout to be followed. And also since they use old building, hence they have small space uh, for each unit. Hence, they cannot really accommodate big machines, and also small numbers of personnel can get into the unit or the room per time. And as for the achievements, despite their lack of budget and also disadvantages, they still accredited with ISO 17025 for certain tests. So we have the viral isolation for the Newcastle disease and also avian influenza, and also we have for the parasitology we have they can test for fecal flotation method, sedimentation method, and fecal egg count, which all accredited by ISO. And if you can see here, we have also tests in blue font. So the tests in blue fonts actually special tests that can be done by the veterinary department in Pahang in Kuantan. So, for example, here we have Trichomonas fetus detection and identification. So they also have other tests, special tests that can be done, which means they can receive the samples and process the special tests. I think that's all from me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
And I'm gonna present the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic that impact the function of the laboratory. So, the COVID-19 pandemic is creating a widespread and pressure on public health services around the world. So, at the one is of the epidemic, all the sectors of health responded to the multiple ways in coordinate this respond to the epidemic. So the impact of COVID-19 on the veterinary laboratory has been a significant and has a lead to lead to many changes and challenges on their operation. While these laboratories were primarily worry about the animal health because it's veterinary laboratory, so they are worried about the animal health. So significant impacts were observed due to the widespread impact of the pandemic on society. So at the present, even during an epidemic, and the possibility of COVID-19 spreading from animals to humans is low, but mostly it's spread if the contact is close between the animal and the human. So in situations, SARS-CoV like spread to certain types of animal, including the combination animals such as cats or dogs and whatever animals like. So far, studies are being conducted to understand whether and how a different animal can be affected by the COVID-19, and the doctors have provided a COVID-19 test with the aim that help to elevating the customer's concerns. So when animals show any symptoms that um, show you that he will infected or that symptoms of infection with the virus, pet owners who are interested in continuing to test their animals should be consult the veterinarian and send them to the laboratory. So therefore, SARS-CoV like virus testing like on animals have been provided in the veterinary diagnostic laboratory, so they can get it from there. In addition to that, one of the significant changes was pressure on the resources and the manpower. So veterinary laboratories have contributed to the expertise and to the understanding of infectious diseases that can be transmitted from animals to human. So by testing the samples and examining the results, and thus that will be enhancing the diagnostic capacity to serve the human health. In addition to that, like we have to respect should be given to the medical laboratories that support the public health response with the regulatory flow up and the emergency response. So COVID-19 has led to increase in research and collaboration in terms of providing the assistance between the human and veterinary laboratories. In addition to that, in some countries during the pandemic, veterinary laboratories faced more than challenges and also in maintaining the level of staffing as possible, so that they fix it with a staff, more provide staff, educated staff were sent to the support human health care needs or faced illnesses and quarantine. So in addition to that, in terms food and security and food safety and whatever the animal protection system to meet certain needs, even with the contamination of the crisis management efforts. So veterinary laboratories apply safety instruction to ensure quality and application of biological safety transfer samples. So this helps to aim and management and reduce the risk of the endemic. So veterinary laboratories, in a conclusion, the COVID-19 has had a significant impact on the veterinary laboratories, on all the laboratories in this world. So, despite challenges mentioned specifically during this pandemic, Veterinary laboratories have adopted by implementing safety protocols and making use of technology, and the veterinary laboratory implemented to plans and strategy to mitigate this in future and not will be happening in public health again.